Hello NYT Cooking, or as I like to call it, NYTC. My name is Andrew Rea. I am the buttery voice and so-so face behind the Babish Culinary Universe. And I'm here to show you my 10 favorite kitchen things. In here, this is my studio kitchen. Ah. Did you just zoom in on something? What did you do? Okay, all right. So I started the BCU, as it's now called, Babish Culinary Universe, which it used to be called just Binging with Babish, which is one of the shows on the channel. It's complicated. I started it just about coming up on 5 years ago now. So I started just making cooking videos in my little Queens apartment. I was watching Parks and Rec in the background, just listening to it really. And Ron and Chris were having a burger cook-off, two of the characters on the show. And one of the burgers was very interesting sounding. I wanted to see what it actually tastes like in real life. And I was like, huh, maybe I should put this to film. And I did. And here we are talking about it on New York Times. Pretty cool. Can I swear? I don't know. Bleep it. So, shall we? Just pulling up my list here because I can't remember my own things. I can't find my Chemex, so clearly I don't love it that much, so that's off the list. So my 10 favorite things in the kitchen. First one, most important one that I am a strong advocate for whenever anybody asks me, you asked me, cutting board, work surface. Big F off cutting board since I've been told I shouldn't swear. This has been the centerpiece for Binging with Babish, Basics with Babish since the beginning. And I think it's so important to have a big, comfortable work surface. So, I could do that cooler. Nope, I guess not. If you can't get like a whole, butcher block, huge surface, dedicated surface in your house, then get one of these bad boys. Like 30 bucks on Amazon. It's tough. I've had this guy since the beginning. Like it's got, it's gouged up, but like still does its job. It comes to work every day. Have a big, beautiful work surface. It's gonna make cooking way better for you. Number one, right here, most important. We have here just a smattering of knives from around the kitchen. The most important knife you gotta get as a newcomer or oldcomer is a chef's knife. This is from my new cookware line. This is an 8-inch chef's knife. This is probably one of the most versatile tools that you can have in the kitchen. There are 50 different gadgets for sale right now as seen on TV that try to do what this thing can do better. Slappy, choppy joints and twirly, twisty goos. This is gonna do it all. You just gotta learn how to use it a little bit. Proper way to hold the chef's knife, everybody, first instinct is like this, nah. Holding it like this, betwixt your thumb and forefinger. That gives you the most control over the blade. You're barely hanging on. This is just for stability back here. And that's the way you're holding the chef's knife. It took me about 1.5 years to quit my day job. Soon after that, I started a new show called Basics with Babish, where it was just basic cookery because people were asking for this food from this movie and this food from this TV show, but they were also like, what's your favorite way to make a steak? What's an easy pasta I can try? And so I wanted to start just making straight up technical instruction videos, and people took to them happily. Next up, we have tiny whisk. Most people think that there is only one tiny whisk. There are several. I started using them kind of as a joke, but they actually have pretty great utility. Like if you're mixing together like a spice blend especially, it's just nice. It's fun to use a tiny whisk. It's no better than anything else. I enjoy it. I like saying tiny whisk. I have a freaking tattoo of a tiny whisk. To scale, oh, it's actually smaller than this one. It's to scale of one of these. This the extra little guy. Real tiny whisk. Oh, that's not even quite right. What did I use for reference? What's next? Pepper grinder. One of the things that I push is freshly ground black pepper. It tastes way better. It's much more peppery, if you will. It's brighter, it's better. It's just way better. This is my favorite pepper grinder in the known universe. It's made by a company called Man Kitchen with 2 N's. It rocks. I am not getting paid to say that. Check this out. He calls it the pepper cannon. I call it the pepper puker because it vomits pepper. Look at how much pepper that puts out. That would take me 45 minutes with a traditional pepper grinder. It's the best. All right, so next up we have the high-walled sauté pan. I say sauté pan and saucepan to piss people off, and it works beautifully. This is a high-walled sauté pan. I think that this is one of the most versatile pieces of equipment you can have in your kitchen. You can sear in this, you can saute in this, you can boil in this. I make pasta in this. This gives me a nice wide surface. Any kind of spaghetti is gonna fit in here. It's great for everything. I use this pan more than probably any other pan. Next up we got cast iron. I think the best size cast iron pan all around is 10-inch. Most recipes call for a 10-inch pan. Nice and deep, nice and heavy. A lot of people are scared of cast iron, but it's actually very easy to maintain. All you really gotta do is throw some vegetable oil in there and put it over medium heat for a little while. A little bit of vegetable oil, a little bit of heat, you're done. So, good cast iron pan, must have. Good bench scraper. Very, very, very useful tool in the kitchen, not one that you always think about. This is great for slicing up dough and portioning it. It's also great for scooping up ingredients. You just chop up the whole mess of onions. Are you going like this and dropping them everywhere? Yeah, I know you are. Not no more. Done. I learned about these tools and their different efficacies by watching lots of videos and trying things out over the past 5 years. You gotta mess up, you gotta make mistakes in the kitchen. It is the only way to learn. That doesn't just pertain to trying out recipes, it pertains to equipment as well. Over here next to the pepper grinder, I keep the kosher salt, pinch bowl. A lot of people ask why I use kosher salt. Couple reasons. First off, it is pinchable. So try doing this with table salt. You can't do it. It's like sand, it will slip through your fingers. With this, as you can see, I'm not losing a single granule until I start to wiggle my fingers. See that? I'm barely wiggling my fingers and I'm in full control of how much salt I am dispersing. Okay, so another very, very, very useful tool to have in the kitchen is a accurate, fast-reading thermometer. This is a thermopen, and it's like the creme de la creme of instant-read thermometers, so it is expensive. It's like $100. But this one's great. You know, it lights up if it's dark. It orients with the way that you're tilting it, which is handy. You know, if you're sticking it in this way or this way, if you're roasting something upside down for some reason, it happens. This is like one of the most important things for cooks just starting out, or very experienced cooks. If you're trying to learn how to properly cook any kind of meat, or bread for that matter, you need to know its internal temperature. So French press, actually I'm glad that we're doing this instead of the Chemex, because this is actually a really versatile tool. French press is about the least expensive way you can make a very good high quality coffee. You can make cold brew. First of all, just grind up your coffee, mix it with water, put it in the fridge overnight, and boom, pour it out. Whatever you do, don't just pour hot coffee over ice. This is a mistake. Or refrigerate hot coffee. You're gonna end up with really bitter coffee. There's a reason that cold brew costs $1 more at Starbucks. This is also a great makeshift milk frother. Warm up your milk, throw it in this bad boy, and just do that. And you do that a few times and you're gonna froth up some milk. You're gonna get the micro bubbles that are so sought after. Anything you need to strain. You want to strain something really finely. Tea as well. This is great for making tea. Very good tools, very versatile, and you'll thank me later. Thank you very much, NYT Cooking, for coming out, checking out my new studio, and thank you guys for checking out my show and for making mistakes with me. That's what we're doing. We're screwing up together. We're learning from it. Keep making mistakes. Keep cooking. I will if you will. That's New York. Is there a New York Times cooking catchphrase?